Hi, I'm Ashley, an AmeriCorps member serving here at New River Trail State Park. Today, we're going to talk about how we can identify trees when we're looking down. Trees are increasingly critical to the health of our planet, but when we're walking, biking, or hiking, we may not always look up and consider the types of trees we're sharing space with. Fortunately, we can still learn a lot about them. Studying tree leaves is the most common way of identifying trees, but trees give us a lot of other clues as well. Many of these clues are parts they drop on the ground, such as seeds, cones, and flowers. Today, we're going to learn 5 trees we can identify from parts we might find down on the ground.
Using tree parts found on the ground to figure out what trees are growing up above in a natural community is a technique professional botanists use when the tree's leaves are too high up to examine. Knowing the types of trees that grow at a location can tell you a lot about the location's soil, climate, and wildlife, but the technique is also a lot of fun.
Try a photo scavenger hunt to see what you can find and take pictures of. You can compete with family and friends by sharing photos or just have fun exploring, like we're going to do now. Come on, let's take a walk.
All right, let's see what we found. This first object is a seed from a Buckeye tree. There are 2 species of Buckeye in Virginia. These are from the yellow Buckeye, found in the southwestern third of Virginia. Seeds of the painted Buckeye look very similar and can be found in the south-central part of the state. The smooth seeds grow inside a leathery capsule on the tree, and you can often find parts of the capsule, like this one, scattered on the ground as well, maybe even with a seed or 2 tucked inside. Now, finding these seeds tells us that we have a Buckeye tree close by. If you'd like to know exactly which tree the seeds came from, look for these leaves, which have 5 leaflets spreading from a center point. And in April and May, you might also see the tree's flowers. You may notice the difference in color between this blackish Buckeye and the other browner ones. The black Buckeye seed is older and weathered. It's empty inside now except for some fungus, and would no longer grow a tree. These next items are grouped because they're all parts dropped from a sycamore tree. The individual seeds are each attached to fluffy bristles, and together hundreds of these seeds make up the sycamore's seed balls. A bit of fluff helps the seeds travel farther in the wind, which is an advantage for a seed that would benefit by growing farther from its tree parent, where it could potentially find more space, water, and light. Once the seeds have come off the seed ball and the inner fuzz has worn away, a tiny, woody center ball is all that's left. Sycamores grow throughout Virginia and often near water. They've been one of the last trees to leaf out at the park this spring. If you've identified parts on the ground that tell you there are sycamores nearby, find the individual trees by looking for their patchy white inner bark. It becomes visible on the upper trunk and large branches as the outer bark is shed. Our next find is a seed and a cone-like group of seeds from a tulip tree. The seeds have a wing end to help carry them through the wind, and the end that attaches to the cluster is sharp and painful to step on with bare feet. The tulip tree is also sometimes called a tulip poplar or yellow poplar, though it is actually more closely related to the magnolia tree than to any poplar. Tulip trees can grow to be one of the tallest trees in eastern North America. The tree's leaves have a unique shape, and like the sycamore, they grow throughout Virginia. If you'd like to find out where a certain plant species grows wild in Virginia, use the online Digital Atlas of the Virginia Flora. These flowers are a common but special thing to find on the ground here at New River Trail because they come from the silver bell tree that, in Virginia, only grows wild within half a mile of the New River. The silver bell can be grown in landscapes outside this range, however, and it's an understory tree, so it doesn't grow too tall. The flowers stand out when they fall in groups on dark surfaces like trails, so you can often identify the presence of a silver bell from far away. Another item you might find is the silver bell's seed capsule, which has 4 wings and is a good clue to the tree's presence after the flowering season is over. Our last find today is the cone of an eastern white pine. These cones have a longer, more slender shape when compared with the cones of other pine species in Virginia, which you can see here surrounding the white pine cones. And the white pine cones are different in another way as well. The end of each scale of the white pine cone is smooth, while the cones of all other pine species in Virginia have a spine at the tip of each scale. Eastern white pine grows in the western 2/3 of Virginia and is one of the other tallest trees in eastern North America. Anyone who has battled invasive plant species like Japanese honeysuckle might be interested to know that Virginia's beloved white pine is invasive in Central Europe. As conifers, pine trees will never drop a flower on the ground, but they do drop needles. The eastern white pine is Virginia's only pine with 5 needles in each bundle of needles on the branch.
We found 5 tree species today, but there are many more that leave clues to their identity on the ground. Here's our scavenger hunt slideshow. See what other species you can find.